Hello, and welcome, my Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials, just spelled that way. I'm not bad. I know it means bad in several different languages. I am, however, a professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Spell Ingredients by a Professional Witch, or from a Professional Witch, and Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Here's a Kindle version of Words of Grace. If you would like to preview it for free, there's a link in the description box that will allow you to do that. And you can check out, among other things, the table of contents and see that I designed the book to be in primarily chakra chapters, different graces and prayers and practices for the different chakras. It's a chakra read. You may find it helpful in the Kindle version. It's clean, it's pristine, it's $9.99 USD, but it had to be toned down compared to the version, the original PDF on patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Spell Ingredients is available as there as well in our digital store. You do not need to be a subscriber to shop. Link in the description box. My patrons, some of them get both of those books as part of their benefit package just for subscribing, but all of them across the board get 3 benefits in common. They get a daily check-in with me pretty much every morning when I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link where we chat with each other about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications of said astrological weather, always ending with a meditation, a prayer, a blessing, or something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start the day, considering I am moving to Saratoga Springs from Long Island in the next month or so. Jinkies, Scoob. And considering what I do for a living, really, it's one of my favorite things in the world, the morning check-ins. They also get all the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. There's no extended for this one, but all of the rest of them that are, they get access to them regardless of level of subscription, as well as they get an extensive discount on private sessions with me, spiritual counseling, and readings. We'll talk about that at the end of the video if you want more deets on that. And I love it. We got 2 7-day free trials for Seeker and Human, our first 2 levels of subscription. You can stay for 7 days, check us out, and then bolt. I'm okay with it, but everyone who has tried a 7-day free trial has stayed for a subscriber for at least a month to get the extensive discount on private sessions with me. I love it. It's the best career move I ever made. I could go on, but I won't because there's a lot on my checklist. Virgo that I am, with Mercury retrograde in Virgo at the time of this recording. Great fun. So do check it out if you feel so drawn. I love it so much. Click the link. Come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons, if the hair doesn't tell you that. You could just call me Mal. And keeping my sense of humor intact has been very, very helpful in this time of transition for me. So let's do some explanation for the new Geminis and crosswatchers, and we'll get to the divination. Feel free to jump ahead, but we're doing it a little bit differently this time, as I have changed my schedule, and my guides have been really good at helping me hone down the readings so that I'm not as overwhelmed while I'm pecking and sifting and sorting and getting a pod. Beware of Sutherland's. So here's your explanation. We're doing a 10-card spread here. Your life purpose seen through the archetypal lenses of work, career, and vocation, because life purpose all at once is a big much. So we break it into these 3 categories. I learned about the 3 levels of power from Caroline Myss. That's MYSS. She is a PhD. I learned 3 levels of power from her. I learned the 8 chakra system, because there are chakras in this reading, from her, an anatomy of the spirit. And of course, these are her archetype cards, coinciding or complementing her work of sacred contracts. That book was life-changing for me. So it kind of puts all of that together in one reading to help you live a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life, right? In a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, right? This is the money read, right? Work, career, vocation, how you survive, your creative stuff, and your spiritual calling, right? So we're going to get 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards. One for the 8th chakra, what's going on in the 8th chakra, work, career, vocation. Then we'll get 3 Daughters of the Moon for the next 4 chakras down: crown, third eye, throat, and heart. The internal, yin-internal, feminine energy, whatever you want to call it, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We will get get the masculine yang dynamic, the lower 3 chakras, with the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke, your relationships in the physical world, looking at yourself from the outside, right, like in a mirror, or possibly you from the inside, looking out at different people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world, work, career, vocation. And we will end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra to help you bring it into alignment. It is a healing mantra. Usually when you're dealing with chakras, there's some aspect of healing involved, and that's why cross-watchers are completely welcome on my channel. If your intention is to get some insight, understanding, sympathy, and empathy, for in this case, the Gemini you are cross-watching for, because if you apply the mantra, and there might be mirroring in so many cross-watcher readings, it's not always about the sign, it's for the cross-watcher. So, it's a general read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but, use the mantra at least, or at least contemplate it a little bit, particularly for air signs. Air signs have a better, I think they have an edge with the mantras and the affirmations and all of that stuff. So I guess that's enough explanation. Let's get down to the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I promise you, I will do my best to help anybody come into alignment, to become a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of themselves, shifting to a more golden than leaded timeline. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right? In a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, enough explanation. Let's do the divination, and that shift happens in the still point. Let's go there. Ready? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs, in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Pantheons of the Divine, we're going to lay all of these cards face down. What's going on in the 8th chakra? In the work for the Gemini Collective and the Crosswatchers, what's going on in their career? 8th chakra. What's going down in their vocation? 8th chakra dominant, their vocation, their spiritual calling, their mystical power for this timeless chakra read. Now we're going to get the tarot face down as well, and then we'll flip them over. Work, career, vocation. I told you we're doing it differently this time, for brevity and hopefully more accuracy. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My goddesses override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs, in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved goddesses, what's going on? Heart, their third eye crown for their work. Damn. What's going on? Heart, their third eye crown in their career. What's going on? Heart, their third eye crown in their vocation. Although second level of power career is heart, their third eye crown dominant. So let's get these lower 3 chakras on the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs, in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done, my beloved gods. What's going on? Lower 3 chakras for the Gemini and the Crosswatchers in their work. What's going on? Lower 3 chakras in their career. What's going on in their vocation? Lower 3 chakras for this timeless chakra read. Now, we're going to start with your work. Work is first level of power, survival, intuition, lower 3 chakra dominant. Interesting. Yeah, how you survive in the world. Not everybody makes their money in their work. I make mine in my career. My work is as a producer and a president. And I'm not making a lot of money that that way, but it's all of the organizational production stuff. Where I do it is in my career. So let's look at what you got here. You got the Avenger archetype in the 8th, an action family archetype. You've got the 4 of Cups. We'll talk about that. And you've got the Ace of Wands, Zeus issuing the quest to return the Golden Fleece, the Jason and the Argonauts, the entire suit of fire there. Now, written on each of these archetypes card, Mercury's retrograde, is written the shadow attribute and the light attribute. I call this lead and this gold. There are 3 atoms in between lead and gold that have to be released to shift from a leaded timeline to a golden timeline, if you follow the language of spiritual alchemy. So, the shadow, the lead, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Now, let's see, have we seen that in the physical world anytime recently? Oh yeah, like frickin' every day, all right? So, it's not always you spot it, you got it, but as we clean up anything of our own lead, we shift to a timeline where there's more gold in that aspect. So, the gold, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So, if you are working in any kind of balancing the scales kind of thing. Now, the Avenger, obviously, we have Thor and Cap and, that Tony Stark. Woof. Certainly, we know that the Avengers, but Avengers and heroes get conflated a lot, and the hero archetype is different, all right? They're both action family archetypes of the 9 families, but certainly this could be about you fighting for justice in what's going on in your workspace or in your industry, anything like that, like the entertainment strike, right? Like the actors and the strikes that are going on in California at this time, absolutely, right? They're seeking justice, but thank the goddess for Fran Drescher. I love her. I'm from New York, of course I do. So with the 4 of Cups on the inside, I always say with this in a general read, the card says sadness, but it can really be from meh at best to maybe some deep sadness and maybe even depression and grief if there has been a loss as a result of an injustice being done here. Of course, in a general way, you got to figure that one out for yourself, but I would say definitely heart chakra. But the 3rd chakra, how you bring that into balance is what this is all about. Well, and it's not the 5 either, but the 5 comes next, right? So with this, with Zeus, with the Ace of Wands saying, here's your new quest, here's your new journey to begin as an Avenger. You're carrying this torch of inspiration, of desire, right? A seed that it's up to you what you want to do with that torch. It's not a page of wands, right? It's the Ace of Wands. So, career, like I said, now this is very lower 3 chakra dominant, first level of power, right? You're how you navigate your way through the physical world. This is your internal world, your creative intuition. Wow. Okay, so let's start. We've got the Messiah. Now, all of these archetype cards are in the title, so you kind of knew this was coming. But the Messiah, a divine family archetype, if you are self-employed, or maybe you're working a gig, a lot of people do, right? How many artists are like waiting tables, door dashing, whatever, right, to pay the bills so that they can do their career. This could very much be that situation. The shadow, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And honestly, as a corporate president of one, right, drawing the circle for 25 years, I have been there, right? But it's different than having a messiah complex. It's very different. I don't take myself that seriously, because the light, wait till you hear this, serving humanity with humility. And the grace of humility is my saving grace. It is the first and last grace I talk about in my book, Words of Grace. The maiden grace. May I be blessed with the maiden grace of humility, to know that I do not know, but I'm willing to be shown. That keeps an open mind. And for air signs, I've got Libra and Venus. Well, Venus conjunct Mercury in my 3rd house, chatterbox, right? So very, very powerful thing here. This might be your leverage. Now, 3 of Blades, which is the 3 of Swords. I know, right away, it's stabbed in the heart, blah, blah, blah. Except that heart is never drawn as being broken in the Rider-Waite Tarot. I studied that first for a couple of decades. This is about focus, very third eye, but certainly also in terms of what and if you will communicate, right? What you are focusing on. Focus is a choice. And sometimes a life-changing decision, sometimes we can't tell the intensity of whether it's just a choice or something that is going to change our lives. And it might be something that changes your life because you got another ace, the Ace of Cups, Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, surfing on the waves in her see-through nighty. Well, maybe, we can't tell. She's a goddess, you know, they have very, very finely spun garments, I'm sure. So that Ace of Cups. Now, I will say, with two aces here, it is a question in a general read as to whether this Ace of Wands and this Ace of Cups is coming to you or being issued from you. Regardless, it does feel like what you do with that cup is going to take some real, not analysis, but real focus, like really focus, particularly on that humility. Like, because we can't know everything. I've said it for decades. Albert Einstein, total genius, but not a fashion plate. You know what I mean? He wore the same thing over and over and over again because he needed to save that, right? I get to balance it a little bit more. I mean, I'm what's called a spiritual creative genius, right? Everybody has a genius. It means focus, right? So there's great power to be tapped there in your element of air on the inside. Let's look at your vocation. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I bet a lot of Geminis, cross-watchers ain't watching this one, particularly when the Martyr shows up, granted, in the 8th chakra, but as horrible as any archetype sounds, as brilliant as it is in its light, and vice versa, totally. So the shadow attribute of the Martyr is addiction to self-pity. How do I know that one without looking at the card? Because I grew up with martyrs, right? That's why I will not take it so seriously down here. I saw what that does to them from a very young age, an extremely young age, pretty much popping out of the womb, I was exposed to martyrdom. So catch this, right, in terms of your vocation, the gold, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, the Avenger. So what we know now because of holographic unity, which has always been, it's not like it was just created, right, is that as we do something like that for ourselves, service to ourselves, it does serve the world. But, you know, there is that fine line, right, and how we do that, particularly with the 8 of Flames. Now, the word on it is called burnout. And maybe there is some burnout here. Burnout leads to martyrdom pretty damn easily. Another 10,000 things I have to get done before noon. It's so unfair. You know, we've all been there, particularly if you're self-employed. But this can also be intense passion, right? 8 of Wands, inspiration, moving forward at a rapid pace, and I would say element of fire is usually throat chakra, right? Choices and decisions. You spit, swallow, or chew. So are you spitting fire? Or are you saying, yeah, we're doing this, right? Are you swallowing that fire? Like, not now, or not now. Or are you chewing on it? Well, here you have your one and only court card. We have the Queen of Swords, fixed air. That would be Aquarius. Now, if you have any planets in Aquarius, I would suggest looking at your chart and seeing what's going on there. Certainly 11th house dynamic, humanity, and how your creativity interacts with the world on a spiritual level here, or you may be dealing with somebody with that Aquarian vibe. I know a lot of Aquarians, I do. I love my aqua lungs and my aquariums. They're the freaks of the zodiac. So they don't have a problem thinking outside the box or seeing things, Mercury retrograde, seeing things from a higher perspective, right? Like from the satellites. That's what makes them humanitarian and egalitarian. We are the world, we are the children, link pinks, right? Hands across America and all that. So really, this does kind of line up. There is definitely an invitation here of both desire, fire, and emotion, water there, but it feels like the choice is yours, but it's going to take really some insight, some focus on the inner with this Messiah archetype, because it's a long explanation what the word Messiah means. Look it up. I look up the original meanings of words at least 2 or 3 times a day, and I'm always blown away. I was like, that's the original meaning, and how things have changed. That words can be like snakes. They can twist and turn on you and bite you, right? But you go back to the original meaning, it often gives that little extra nuance or detail to a reading. So I like this. I'm going to say that in terms of social justice, Aquarians are kind of there. So if that's what's going on here in your work, yeah, if you're doing service not just to yourself, but to a group of people, to an industry, for just the people in your office, I get it. But this idea that this can only succeed only by you, invite in the divine. Know that you don't know. Be willing to be shown and focus. The information that you need will come to you this way or this way. Shall we? Last card down. The Metcon healing mantra. Crosswatchers, wake up. Here's your opportunity. Unless you're mirroring like crazy all over this reading. Let's get this one on the table. It's the only bookie book read for this series. I usually do the Whispers of Lord Ganesha and the chakra reading cards and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm moving. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Masters override. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, please, what is the perfect healing mantra to help the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and crosswatchers watching this video, drawn to this reading, alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, their fear to love, to shift from illusion to truth in their work, career, vocation, in this Avenger, Messiah, Martyr read. Who we got? Sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be, which definitely brings more people into this. And I'll bet you anything right here. These two aces, right? You may not want to, but the opportunity is there. It is your choice to share what? Perhaps your sorrow, your sadness, your deepest pain in this situation in your work. And it feels like the cup could be given to you, but that would mean focusing and really allowing yourself to say, you know, I know that I don't know. See, none of us got gold stars for not knowing the answer, right? And yet if you're not supposed to know yet, then you're not supposed to know, and how we beat ourselves up for that. It's traditional, right? It's been passed down for the millennia of our ancestral lines, let alone in society in general. So even offering this cup of love, allowing yourself time and space to be as you are, giving yourself permission to be, is certainly an Ace of Cups thing. So that does make sense, and I think that's going to absolutely, yes, activate the self-pity there, but to get that, that's lead asking to be brought into gold, that there is a greater service here. It's not just your pain, because obviously you would then, as others are holding space for you, again with crosswatchers and all of that, you are then able to hold space for others, right? That feels like an Avenger, right? That feels like balancing the scales of justice, but in a healthy way, but for society and or themselves. So let me read you about sharing shame. It is the rite of confession, and the rite of confession does not belong to any one religion or tradition, considering therapy and counseling is based on it. Very third chakra. Here we go. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. When shame is shared, cycles of victimhood are permitted to heal as you find the courage to speak your truth. That's what's on the table here, pretty sure. Since abuse and neglect can only be perpetuated in silence, it is your willingness to step forward and share your life story that helps transform each wound and inspire others to be set free. I forgot to say, the martyr archetype is also a divine family archetype, so this can be very inspired. And if you are a writer, or in any way, like making content, anything taking the inner world to the outer as a communicative third house Gemini, this could be an opportunity for you to really help others. Once your shame is shared, you are able to honor yourself with the heightened encouragement, worthiness, and validation that you deserve to receive. But we gotta let that in. And to have a safe space to confess, like, I am a spiritual counselor. I feel like I've been since day one on this planet, right? I've heard a lot of confessions, but I live by the vow of confession. If I were to break my vows of confession to the divine, which is what these cords hold them, by the way, my life would be wrecked. Like, I wouldn't. They would snatch away my intuitive skills overnight. I know they would, right? That's why I'm good at what I do, because I make vows this way, right? So to hold that space for others, just really, really important. This mantra is ideal for revisiting past traumas, expressing your inner child. Chiron is retrograde in Aries at the time of this recording, the child of the zodiac, and finding self-acceptance, allowing yourself to be. This is beautiful. It's not easy. When is work, career, vocation ever really all that easy? And it may be simple, but simple need not imply easy. Good old A Course in Miracles there. So, we're going to put this together in a blessimation, a combination of a blessing and a summation, and then we will chat for a little bit if you want to hang out for it. I am a Virgo. I do like my symmetry when possible. Last time, please take a nice deep breath. Breathe like you mean it. Still point. And we end as we began. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine on behalf of the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to become the happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser, more golden timeline versions of themselves in their work, embracing their desire to balance the scales of justice with righteousness on behalf of society and or oneself while they process this Four of Cups, whether it's boredom to deep sadness, loss, and grief, that they are able to express that, as we see by sharing shame. And there is an opportunity, either coming from them or coming to them, a quest of a sort, the call to the hero's journey, which can be denied. But when the hero denies the call, things do not go well, even though it's the Avenger. And so that in their career, they can serve humanity with humility, knowing that they do not know, but maybe getting really clear on that, getting to the heart of the matter of that, into what they do know. And that could certainly come out as a result of a giving or receiving of the Ace of Cups, a safe space, a loving moment, even if that is completely through prayer, a divine family archetype, or through meditation. That's fine too. I do it this way before I do it that way myself, as they share shame, and so that in their vocation they can learn the transcendent nature of service to themselves and a cause as they harness this fiery energy. And if it is indeed burnout, too much going out than coming in, then certainly that can be addressed here. But it also means that things are transforming quickly, because fire is the element of transformation. You can't unburn a cookie. It's all the one-way transformation on that one. And certainly if this is them from the outside in, with that lovely Aquarian energy of egalitarian, humanitarian, how their creativity, particularly their spiritual creativity, interacts with the world, or whether that's someone there as a mentor, a teacher, a friend, a healer, a counselor, a whoever, that they are able to share shame in safe space, because when they share their deepest pain, they will be giving themselves permission to be. So may the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, their fear to love, to shift from illusion to truth in their work, career, or vocation, fulfilling their sacred contracts, their life purpose, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser Gemini and crosswatcher, in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. Roar. It was good. It makes sense. It does. You know, nothing like a confessional. That's why you don't have to put everything on TikTok. Right? You can have private moments. You can have inside thoughts and make them outside thoughts in safe and sacred space. And that's how I roll, because I'm a Virgo. Virgo power, cross your legs. Only at my discretion do I share such things. Usually I talk to my angels first. And my gods. Athena is very helpful, I will say. So, if you liked the reading, if you found it helpful, hit the thumbs up. Helps other Geminis find it. subscribe if you want more of me here on YouTube, and certainly comment if you feel it, because certainly I can resonate with that middle column there big time. And certainly do check out patreon.com/drawing the circle, best career move I ever made that allows me to unify my work, career, and vocation in one thing every day in one way or another. Highly creative. They keep giving us cool stuff. We got a digital store. Our podcasts are now available on Spotify, but you can access it through Patreon. It's kind of a cool deal. They're giving us all sorts of cool stuff to do. We got the 2 7-day free trials. It's just wonderful. I'm loving it, and I really hope that you will click the link and check it out, at least to see what's possible should you ever feel drawn to become a creator on Patreon for yourself. And I don't work for them, I work with them. This is all just from my heart, speaking the truth, right? So hang in there. I believe in you, an Avenger, Messiah, Martyr contract. Sharing shame does not sound like fun, but it does feel like quite the journey that's not just going to help you, but the other people involved in there. And so hang in there. You can do this. I believe in you. Be outrageous. Don't just be truly outrageous. Be truly, truly, truly outrageous. My beloved gems and your cross-watchers, hang in there. You can do this. You got this. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.